Hello, everybody. Welcome back. My name's Nick Driver. I'm a New Mexican. Today, we're going to talk about the governor's announcement yesterday about relaxing the COVID restrictions. So, basically, our governor said, as this title says, once 60% of eligible New Mexicans are vaccinated, state can fully reopen. Now, right off the bat, just looking at that, and from my point of view, that's telling me the governor is holding us hostage until she gets her way. Okay, but let's go ahead and get into these articles and talk about it. I don't know how many of you saw the actual press conference and whatnot. It was long, it was boring, it was full of a whole bunch of whatever. Anyways, so here on KOAT, Maggie Krajewski wrote, Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham and health officials announced big changes to the COVID-19 framework and restrictions in New Mexico. Here's what it means. So as of April 28th, 41.6% of states' eligible residents were fully vaccinated. Once the state vaccinates 60% of those eligible, the state will ditch the color-coded framework. The governor said she predicts the state will meet this benchmark by the end of June, which means that if things stay on track, New Mexico could reopen in 9 weeks. Woo! We get our freedom back in 9 weeks. Maybe. That's what I read. Anyways, so for masks still, one day after the Center of Disease Control and Prevention released updates guidance on wearing masks outside, the state also updated their current mask mandate. This means that both vaccinated and unvaccinated Mexicans can go outside who exercise and attend small outdoor gatherings with fully vaccinated family and friends without a mask. I've been doing it the whole time. And I'm not vaccinated. I won't get vaccinated, not until it's FDA approved, until all the trials are done. So all y'all that want to get vaccinated, go for it. I really don't care that you get vaccinated. If you're at risk and you feel like this is going to help you, please go ahead, get vaccinated, do what you need to do. But stop trying to force it on people like me who would rather wait and see some statistics and some data and some actual research done on the vaccine before we get our vaccines. That's all I'm saying. All right. Anyways, color-coded framework. The state also announced changes to the current red to turquoise framework, which is just, in the first place, was ridiculous. Effective April 30th. These changes will loosen up the requirements for counties to move into lesser stringent COVID-19 restrictions. Once these changes begin, almost every county in the state will move into green or turquoise. Basically, she's saying we're all in green or turquoise already, but we have to wait until April 30th, which is tomorrow, before we get to actually do anything. You can see let's see. But once the state reaches that 60% benchmark mentioned above, this color-coded system goes away. So let's see. This one just explains each of the levels. If you've been paying attention, you kind of already know there really wasn't that big of a change. It went from 8 cases to 10 cases. It went from 5% to 7.5%, so forth and so far, whatever. So those are the levels. Feel free to pause and read them or go look at KOAT. I'm not going to go through them all. But let's go ahead and continue reading all the other news outlets. They're all basically saying the same thing. I mean, there's not really much you can take different from what they said and change. But, state to fully reopen after 60% of New Mexicans are vaccinated, projected by end of June. So this one is on KOB4. This is by Joshua Panas. Albuquerque, New Mexico. Governor Michelle Lujan announced Wednesday that the red to green framework will be retired after 60% of New Mexicans are fully vaccinated against COVID-19. She expects that to happen by the end of June. As of April 28th, the governor said 41.6% of New Mexicans were fully vaccinated. In 9 weeks, we are opening, Governor Lujan Grisham said. 9 weeks is going to, just like 15 weeks. You think I can trust you on 9 weeks when you guys have been telling it was supposed to be 15 weeks? Maybe so we're already a year plus past the 15-week mark. So how can I trust 9 weeks? The governor said once 60% of New Mexicans are fully vaccinated, she believes it's safe enough for the state to fully reopen. Oh, thank you for Governor Grisham for, waiting for you to feel comfortable before reopening the state. I'm so glad you're our governor and we're not in Florida or Texas. Man, Ted Cruz and Ron DeSantis are just so stupid for letting their citizens be free and think freely for themselves. Man, I'm so glad I'm stuck here in New Mexico. It's just ridiculous. While the red and green framework will remain in place until 60% of New Mexicans are vaccinated, the gating criteria has been relaxed. So, to be a green level of restrictions, a county can now have 10 cases per 100,000 people and 7.5% test positively rate. Previously, it was 8 cases per 100,000 people and 5% test positivity rate. Vaccinations rates will also be included in the red to green framework. The new framework will go into effect April 30th. In addition to announcing the state is on track to fully reopen, New Mexico will no longer mandate masks during all outdoor activities. It will adhere to the new CDC guideline that was announced Tuesday. Masks will still be required indoors. It's just, to me, it's hilarious that she's parading around talking about, oh, we're going to follow CDC guidelines. And, it came in 2 days after the CDC released their guidelines. I'm glad they loosened restrictions, don't get me wrong. But it took them 3 months after the Supreme Court ruled about churches being able to operate at 100% before they allowed it in New Mexico. 3 months. Why? Does Governor Grissom hate religion? That's what it seems like. Because why would it take you 3 months to do what the Supreme Court said, but only 2 days to do what the CDC said? Just wondering. So some things. This one, we'll go to this other one because this one's from KRQE. This one has a lot of stuff in it. We're not going to go through everything on this one, but I do want to point out some charts and stuff they gave us. So governor, state preparing to open end of June with anticipated 60% vaccination rate. Watchful news conference below. So let's see. Santa Fe, New Mexico. This one's by Courtney Allen. Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham announced Wednesday the state is preparing to reopen at the end of June. That is, the state reaches its goal of 60% of New Mexicans being vaccinated. During Wednesday's news conference, health officials also said they are making changes to the state's red to turquoise framework. We are conquering COVID, said Governor Lujan Grisham. Everyone in the state should be incredibly proud. There is no conquering COVID. If you believe there is, I'm sorry, but this is just one of those things, and I've stated it before in other videos. I talked about how Micro came out with a statement a long time ago talking about COVID is just another virus we are going to have to live with as humans. Just like the cold, the flu, just like, all these other variants that we had to deal with in the last decades. It's another virus. People need to get over the fact that people are going to die. I'm sorry. It's how the world works. It's how nature works. We have been on this planet for a long time, and as humans, we have fought against viruses for a long time, but we are still here. We're still here. Explain it. You think they were wearing masks way back in the days? I mean, we can go back to the Black Plague. Yeah, of course, that was a horrible, horrible situation brought upon by unsanitary conditions. And yes, the people wore masks to prevent themselves from catching the plague. But they also cleaned up the situation and fixed the root of the problem. There is no fixing the root of this problem. There is no fixing the root of this problem. So anyways, Wednesday, Governor Lujan Grisham said the state is on track to have 60% of eligible vaccinated in 9 weeks. If that happens, the state will open at the end of June. I want us to fully embrace the New Mexico today is the first state, I believe, in the nation that can reach percentage of population fully vaccinated that allows us to fully open it in safest possible way. And this is amazing. The only issue I really have about that statement is the fact that we are struggling to get people to go back for their second shot here in New Mexico. They claim 41.6% are already fully vaccinated, but at the same time, there's a ton of those New Mexicans who haven't gone back for their second vaccine shot. I'm just saying, so like for us to reach that 60% mark, that means you have to get the 2 shots, right? I don't think 9 weeks is going to happen. And I don't think forcing 60% of our population to get vaccinated is correct, because I'm pretty sure about 50% of our population is hesitant about the vaccine. So we got to find 10% of those people who are willing to, I guess, sacrifice themselves so that way New Mexico can open, because our Supreme Overlord Governor Grissom said we can't open unless we get 60%. I don't like this dangling my freedom in front of my face. You can't. There's the fact of the matter is you're being a dictator in the state. I mean, we have a couple states already reopened, and you look at their numbers and they're doing fine. But we're still closed. 0.19%. And we're still closed. New Mexico, stop living in fear. Learn to live your lives. Accept the fact that people are going to die. I'm sorry if it's one of your family members. I know there's a chance it could be one of my family members. But at the same time, I've accepted that this virus exists. And this virus is going to do what viruses do. Get over it. Then starting February, so back to the article. Then starting April 30th, there will be a new color-coded map according to the slideshow during the conference. All right. So there's a new color-coded map because of everything. But here's the things I wanted to show you really quick. Let's see, new criteria. So if the new criteria goes, everyone's good. Was it this one? Let's see. No, not this one. This one. So here you go. You got your spike. And then we're back here, down here. But this is the funny part. This is their propaganda to get people to get vaccinated. Because basically they're saying, if you're fully vaccinated, you're allowed to be free for the most part, except for if you go to attend crowded outdoor events like a performance parade or sports events. But as you can see, if you're not vaccinated, hey, you can't do crap. You have 3 things that you're supposed to avoid or have to be forced to wear a mask about. Don't get me wrong, I care about everybody, but at the same time, it's you're a human being. You have free will, freedom of choice. We live in America. Today, 41.6% of New Mexicans fully vaccinated. 60% of eligible New Mexicans fully vaccinated. New Mexico graduates. Like we're all high school students and kids that need to be told how to think and when and what, because we can't make the decision about being vaccinated ourselves. Like I said earlier, until it's FDA approved and until all the trials are done and it's cleared, yeah, I'm not going to get vaccinated. Right now it's under an emergency use order. So like, why? You're all being guinea pigs, which thank you for doing that. I appreciate it, because these shots that you first wave of people are getting will help ease the tension for people like me when we see no side effects and from them. All right. And so we've already had 2 recalls on vaccines, and there's only 2 left, and there's just as skeptical as you are of COVID, we can be skeptical of the vaccine. So basically all I'm saying is, why do we listen to her? Why do we care what she says? I mean, who cares about this mandated order? We as New Mexicans just need to go out and live our lives. Ignore the governor, ignore people, because this is BS. It's 100% BS. I can bring up, let's see if I can find the story really quick. But I'll bring up this story about why masks are only for, there we go, criminals. So I've always explained this to my child, is if you believe in what you believe, you shouldn't wear a mask, because obviously you don't really believe what you believe if you have to hide. Because you should be willing to sacrifice everything for the things you believe in. Now, at the same time, these people want us to force us to keep wearing masks, and stuff like this is going on. Wearing masks every day is emboldening criminals. Don't believe me? Look at the homicide rates in America. Not even just in New Mexico. New Mexico is just ridiculous. I don't even want to talk about it. We're above the national average for homicides. But crime is skyrocketing. Why? Because everyone's wearing a mask. They have amnesia. You can't be identified. All right? It makes it harder for identification, so people are getting emboldened and people are committing crimes on a higher rate. Yet we're still sitting back and waiting for permission to go out and stop wearing masks. I feel more uncomfortable with people with mask on around me than I do with people with mask off. Same concept with guns. I feel more comfortable with a group of people with their open carry than I do with one person having a gun. So, prime example of criminals getting emboldened right here. Guy just walks into Home Depot, grabs some crap, walks out and pulls a gun on an employee as he leaves, and the employee doesn't stop him, and we have to go through all this surveillance tape and stuff to find this guy. I'm just saying, it's just my opinion. I believe our governor is holding us ransom and trying to force us all into her ideology by getting vaccinated. She needs to get over it and understand. If you're vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and mask work, then you should leave us alone. Leave us alone. That's all I'm asking. We're the group that's accepted death, and you haven't. So if we get sick and we die, understand we've accepted that. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. My name's Nick Driver. I'm a New Mexican, and I really do care about you all. So please stop listening to this damn governor. All right? We need to get some new politicians in. We've been under a Democratic majority for decades. And what has it done for us? What has it done for us? Anyways, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, follow, share, do all that fun stuff. Thank you all for listening. Have a great day.